by Noam Merchant and Juan Lozano, Associated Press. Houston, AP, with its surge safeguards stressed, the disabled city of Houston tensely watched dams and levees Tuesday to check whether they would hold until the point that the rain stops, and meteorologists offered the principal explanation behind expectation, an estimate with not as much as an inch of rain and even a possibility for daylight. The human toll kept on mounting, both in passings and in the consistently swelling number of frightened individuals made destitute by the calamitous tempest that is currently the heaviest tropical storm in U.S. history. The city's biggest sanctuary was flooding when the chairman declared plans to make space for a great many additional individuals by opening 2 and perhaps 3 more Uber covers. We are not dismissing anybody. However, it means we have to grow our abilities and our ability, Mayor Sylvester Turner said. Help is coming. The salvages went on. Government and neighborhood offices said they had lifted more than 13,000 individuals out of the floodwaters in the Houston region and encompassing urban communities and districts. Louisiana's representative offered to take in Harvey casualties from Texas, and TV Minister Joe Losteen opened his Houston megachurch, a 16,000-situate previous field, after fault finders shot him via web-based networking media for not acting to help families uprooted by the tempest. Meteorologists said the sprawling city would soon get an opportunity to dry out. At the point when Harvey comes back to arrive Wednesday, it's the finish of the starting, National Hurricane Center meteorologist Dennis Feltgen said. Harvey will spend quite a bit of Wednesday dropping precipitation on Louisiana before proceeding onward to Arkansas, Tennessee and parts of Missouri, which could likewise observe flooding. Be that as it may, Feltgen forewarned, we're not finished with this. There's as yet a dreadful parcel of land and many people who will feel the effects of the tempest. The National Weather Service anticipated less of an inch of rain for Houston on Wednesday and just a 30% shot of showers and storms for Thursday. Friday's gauge called for generally radiant skies with a high close to 94. Taking all things together, more than 17,000 individuals have looked for asylum in Texas covers, and that number appeared to be sure to build, the American Red Cross said. The city's biggest asylum, the George R. Dark-colored Convention Center, held more than 9,000 individuals, double the number authorities initially wanted to house there. The group included numerous from outside Houston. Before the day's over, the Toyota Center, home of the NBA's Rockets, had started tolerating individuals who couldn't discover space at the Tradition Focus. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards said he anticipated that Texas authorities would choose inside 48 hours whether to acknowledge his offer, which comes as Louisiana manages its own flooding. Around 500 individuals were emptied from overwhelmed neighborhoods in southwest Louisiana, Edwards said. The city has approached the Federal Emergency Management Agency for more supplies, including bunks and nourishment, for an extra 10,000 individuals, said the chairman, who would have liked to get the provisions no later than Wednesday. In an obvious reaction to scattered reports of plundering, the chairman likewise forced a check in time. Police Chief Art Acevedo said violators would be addressed, sought and captured. 4 days after the tempest desolated the Texas coastline as a storm, experts and relatives have detailed more than 12 passings from Harvey. They incorporate the lady murdered when overwhelming precipitation sent a substantial oak tree smashing onto her trailer and another lady who evidently suffocated after her vehicle was cleared off an extension. Houston police affirmed that a 60-year-old officer suffocated in his watch auto after he ended up noticeably caught in high water while heading to work. Sergeant Steve Perez had been with the power for a long time. 6 individuals from a family were dreaded dead after their van sank into Greens Bayou in East Houston. A Houston lodging said one of its representatives vanished while helping around 100 visitors and laborers clear the building. Experts recognize that fatalities from Harvey could take off once the floodwaters begin to subside from one of America's biggest metropolitan focuses. A couple of 70-year-old repository dams that ensure downtown Houston and a levee in a rural subdivision started flooding Tuesday, adding to the rising flood waters. Designers started discharging water from the attics and Barker repositories Monday to facilitate the strain on the dams. In any case, the discharges were insufficient to diminish the weight after the steady deluges, Army Corps of Engineers authorities said. The two stores are at record highs. The arrival of the water implies that more homes and boulevards will surge, and a few homes will be immersed for up to a month, said Jeff Linter of the Harris County Flood Control District. Brazoria County specialists posted a message on Twitter cautioning that the levee at Columbia Lakes south of Houston had been broken and advising individuals to get out now. Brazoria County Judge Matt Sebesta said inhabitants were cautioned that the levee would be overtopped sooner or later, and a compulsory departure range was given Sunday. The levee was later strengthened, however authorities said they didn't know to what extent the work would hold. Authorities in Houston were likewise watching out for foundation, for example, extensions, streets and pipelines that are in the way of the flood waters. Water in the Houston Ship Channel, one of the country's busiest conduits, which serves the Port of Houston and Houston's petrochemical complex, is at levels never observed, Linter said. The San Jacinto River, which exhausts into the channel, has pipelines and streets and scaffolds not intended for the momentum the storm, Linter stated, and the shot of framework disappointments will expand the more we keep the water set up. Among the stresses is trash descending the waterway and colliding with structures and the likelihood that pipelines in the riverbed will be scoured by quick streams. In 1994, a pipeline cracked on the stream close Interstate 10 and burst into flames. Amid a visit to the tempest zone, President Donald Trump stayed away from the epicenter of the harm in Houston to abstain from upsetting recuperation operations. In any case, he wanted to come back to the locale Saturday to meet with a portion of the casualties, Squeeze Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said. Following 5 sequential days of rain, Harvey set another mainland U.S. record for precipitation for a tropical framework. The downpours in Cedar Bayou, close Montana Bellevue, Texas, totaled 51.88 inches, 1.32 meters, as of Tuesday evening. That is a record for both Texas and the mainland United States, however it doesn't exactly outperform the 52 inches, 1.33 meters, from Tropical Cyclone Hiki in Kauai, Hawaii, in 1950, preceding Hawaii turned into a state. The past record was 48 inches, 1.22 meters, set in 1978 in Medina, Texas, by Tropical Storm Amelia. A climate station southeast of Houston announced 49.32 inches, 1.25 meters, of rain. Before it separates, Harvey could crawl as far east as Mississippi by Thursday, which means New Orleans, where Hurricane Katrina released its full fierceness in 2005, is in Harvey's way. Premonition pictures of Harvey lit up climate radar screens on the 12th commemoration of the day Katrina made landfall in Plaquemines Parish. The calamity is unfurling on an epic scale, with the country's 4th biggest city for the most part incapacitated by the tempest that landed as a Category 4 storm and after that stopped over the Gulf Coast. The Houston metro territory covers around 10,000 square miles, 25,900 square kilometers, a zone somewhat greater than New Jersey. Related press essayists Frank Bajak and Michael Grochek in Houston, Diana Hijard and David Warren in Dallas, Seth Borenstein in Washington and Tammy Weber in Chicago added to this report. Agree to accept AP's day-by-day pamphlet displaying our best all groups giving an account of Harvey and its consequence. UPN.WS web link. Copyright 2017 The Associated Press. All rights saved. This material may not be distributed, communicated, revamped or redistributed.